Am I the asshole? Because I don't make an effort to co-parent with my child's father? I have a son who will be 2 in July, and I don't put forth a lot of effort for my son to see his father. Background. His father did not want to sign and did not sign the birth certificate. He did not want him to have his last name, and doesn't. He didn't come to the hospital when he was born, because he thought he would automatically be put on child support. I will FaceTime a few times out of the week, but he doesn't always answer. If he calls back, it's too late or the next day. And if we meet up, there are always strings attached. Like, can you take me to the corner store, or can you drop me off of my friend's house? Last time we met up and had a falling out, so I set my boundaries and told him I couldn't take him anywhere. See and spend time with your son, and that's it. Over the year and 9 months, he has only brought his son a $70 pair of Jordans, 1 big box of Pampers and wipes. He complains that him not seeing his son is my fault. His son crying when he sees him is also my fault. He doesn't have a car, but he gets around everywhere else. Why can't he come visit his son? If I don't call or take the initiative, it won't happen. And I'm okay with that. My son is not without proper male father figures or role models in his life. So, am I the asshole? So not making an effort to co-parent? Not the asshole. That's not what co-parenting is. You are making all the effort, and he is giving nothing. Drop the rope. If he wants to see his kid, he will. You are not responsible for making his life easier, nor doing extra stuff for him. He doesn't even care enough to make visitation happen. Think about that. You already have 1 child. You don't need 2. This is dismal. Why aren't you getting child support? Not the asshole. You have a choice to make. 1, cut this guy out completely, which you have the ability to do since he's refused to take responsibility for your child. 2, force him to step up, take a paternity test, pay child support, and be a dad to your child. The situation now is clearly not working for anyone, especially your child. You have made an effort to co-parent. Your ex is the one who isn't making an effort. He can't even be bothered to make sure he's available for FaceTime calls. I do that for my cousin's kid. I literally can't imagine not doing that for my own. Not the asshole. Anyone giving you a hard time should be told, how kind of you to want to give X a ride so he can visit more easily. I hope you and he can come up with a mutually agreeable schedule so he can see his child more regularly. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if he didn't sign the birth certificate, doesn't that mean that he isn't even legally the child's father? This man has refused to sign the birth certificate, won't pay child support, won't do anything or provide anything to support you and your son, and he won't even do the bare minimum to visit. He wants more time. Fine, he can go through the courts to arrange custody. He won't, because then he'd have to pay child support. Don't teach your son that this is acceptable behavior. Stop putting in all the effort. Your child is better off without this man in his life. Not the asshole. I'm sorry he bought $70 Jordans for a 2-year-old when he doesn't have a job. Not the asshole. Sounds like BD is a loser. Sorry you got pregnant by him. Not the asshole. I had TLC, no scrubs in my head reading this. Not the asshole. Your son doesn't need someone in his life who has to be incentivized to spend time with him. Co-parenting. Dude isn't on the birth certificate and sounds like a bum. If he wants to be a dad, he can go through the process to get his name added and pay child support. No, you are not. The older your son gets, the more he'll really doesn't care about him. You don't want that for your son. It'd be better to have your son grow closer to the male figures who want to be in his life. Not the asshole. This guy is going to blame you no matter what, so he doesn't have to take accountability. Not the asshole, as it requires both to work together. Nee. Despite him not signing the birth certificate, check your state to see if you can still claim child support. You should still be able to claim something. He can fight it. Court can order a DNA test, and that will prove he is the father. Then the court will do what it believes in the best interest of the child. So long as you kept records of all of this, it should show a pattern if he wants to complain. You don't allow him to see your son. NTA, but stop doing CPR on his relationship with your child. If he wants to see your son, he will, but if he doesn't actually want to, it's not a good relationship for your son, so stop pushing it. Not the asshole. This man is showing less than the bare minimum as a father, or even as a decent human. It's okay to drop the rope, sis. Not the asshole. You have made the effort. Now, get a paternity claim and have him pay child support. If you don't need that money, right away save it. For when you do, and maybe later it can be a college fund. Take him to court and get child support. He's a deadbeat. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Get him on child support as a point of principle. Not the asshole. I'm curious if this guy just has perfected a free Uber service of baby mamas, taking him everywhere around town at the cost of a box of Pampers. I would cut this man from your child's life before he gets too attached. Go and find someone who will treat you well and love your son as his own. Alarm bells should have been ringing from the moment your son was born. No hospital visit, no birth certificate stating he is the child's father, because he does not want to pay child support. This man is a loser, and probably will only want your son as some sort of status symbol amongst his friends. He may use your son to gain money and favors from you later. You're the asshole for not having a court order for paternity test. Your child deserves all the legal rights of having a father. Not the asshole. I go through something similar, and psychologists advises me to actually avoid the father, which I'm not doing. I got a service to be intermediary between us, so I don't see the father at all. He's behaving better when there are strangers around and tries to show interest. But generally I was told it's better no father than an on-off one. Not the asshole. He can't do nothing and get to reap the rewards. If he wants to see his son more, he needs to put in the effort, not you. You shouldn't have to make your son happy to see him or want to visit him. The father should put in effort and bond with him. Not the asshole because you have made an effort. He hasn't. He is going to continue to blame you because he doesn't want to take responsibility for his shitty actions. NTA. Inform him that he needs to take the initiative to see him in future BC. You won't be doing it. You have a son to raise.